Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we will discuss and present about factors that can affecting exchange rates in Algeria. Algeria is the second largest country in Africa after the Sudan, located in northern Africa. Algeria is bordered by the Mediterranean on the north, on the west by Morocco and Western Sahara, on the southwest by Mauritania and Mali, on the southeast by Niger, and on the east by Libya and Tunisia. The present boundaries were set during the French conquest in the 19th century. Algeria derived its name from Algazins, which is Arabic for the island, referring to the small island along the coastlines of the capital Algiers. The top export of Algeria are crude petroleum, gas, refined petroleum, nitrogenous fertilizers, and ammonia. Algeria exported mostly to Italy, France, Spain, United States, and United Kingdom. The top import of Algeria are refined petroleum with packages, medicines, concentrated milks, and vehicle parts. Algeria imports steel mostly from China, France, Italy, Spain, and Germany. We will discuss about Algerian currency. Algeria's official currency is known as the Algerian dinar. Banknotes are issued by the central bank of Algeria. The symbol for the dinar is DA. It has the currency code, which is DZD. One Algerian dinar equal to 0.030 ringgit Malaysia. The buju was the currency of Algeria until 1848. It was subdivided into 24 muzana, each of 2 karat or 29 aspar. It was replaced by the franc when the country was occupied by France. In the early 19th century, copper coins were issued in denominations of 2 and 5 aspar, below 1 karat, silver 3, 4, 6, 8, and 12 muzana, 1 and 2 buju, and golds 1 quarter, half, and 1 sultani. The franc replaced the buju when the franc occupied the country. It was equivalent to the French franc and was revalued into 1960 at a rate of 100 old franc, equal to 1 new franc. To maintain the equivalence, the franc was the currency of Algerians between 1848 and 1964. It was subdivided into 100 centimes. The dinar was introduced on 1 April 1964, replacing the Algerian's new franc at par after Algerian's independence granted by France in 1962. It is the currency of Algerians and it is subdivided into 100 centimes. In 1964, coins in denominations of 1, 2, 5, 10, 12, and 50 centimes and 1 dinar were introduced with the 1, 2, and 5 centimes struck in aluminium, then 10, 20, and 50 centimes in aluminium, bronze, and 1 dinar in copper nickel. The observed show the emblem of Algeria, while the reverse carry the value in Eastern Arabic numeral. In the later decades, coins were issued sporadically with various commemorative subjects. In 1970, the 500 dinar banknote was added, and in 1992, a new series of coins was introduced. As next, we will look at theoretical literature. The first one is Lamri Khadija and Taibin Bonmedian 2020. The result of the study concluded that there is a long-term relationship between the microeconomic variables determinants for the exchange rate and the GDP. The second one is Majana and Aichi 2019. They conclude that there is a long-term relationship between the selected economic variable and their effects on Algeria real GDP in the short or long term. There are 4 factors that can affecting exchange rates in Algeria, which is oil price, trade or open, interest rates, and inflation. Okay, the first one is oil price. Okay, we will look at empirical finding. There are 4 factors that can affecting exchange rates in Algeria, which is oil price, trends or opponents, inflation and interest rates. Okay, the first one, oil price. As we can see from the chart, oil price for Algeria is unstable through the years. It shows an increasing earlier before it starts to drop. Oil price for Algeria rising from 2001 until 2006 and then decreased in 2007 before rising again in 2008. Oil price experienced declines in 2009 before continuing increase from 20.615 in 2009 to 7.277 in 2011. It showed that oil price for Algeria dropped again from 2011 until 2016 before continuing rising until 2020. Next are trade or opens. From the charts we can see that Algeria experienced an increase in trades or opens from 2001 until 2008. However, trades and opens for Algeria fall from 76.784 in 2008 to 55.321 in 2017 before increase in 2019, but it continued to fall in 2020. Next, inflation. From the chart even we can see that the inflation rate for Algeria is unstable through the years, same goes with oil price. Inflation rates for Algeria experienced an increase in earlier before its increase in 2002, but it continued to fall until 2005 and then continued to increase until 2009. However, it's fall again in 2010. Next, inflation rates for Algeria rising again from 3.9110 in year 2010 to 8.8914 in 2012 before drop until 2014. After 3 years, inflation rates continue decline after increasing from 2014 until 2019. Then Algeria falls in 2020 for inflation rates. Next, interest rate. From the chart given, we can see that in the interest rate for Algeria is unstable through the years. Interest rate for Algeria increased until 2005 and then declined until 2007. But interest rate continued increasing in 2008 before continuing to fall in 2009. It continued to rising in 2010 and 2011 before drop until 2016 and then rising again until 2018 before declines until 2020.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So it is come to my turn now. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad IDFAN bin NORAFANDI. My student number is 2020828256. And first, I would like to talk about descriptive analysis. So, descriptive analysis shows or illustrate all the analysis for the study, and the data that we collected is from the year 1970 till 2020. As you can see on the descriptive analysis table, the highest average for Algeria is trade or open, which is at 58.204.56334, while the highest median is also trade or open for Algeria, which is at 58.0649177. Meanwhile, the highest maximum for Algeria is trade or open at 76.68451817, and the highest minimum is also trade or open, which is at 32.68458447, and the highest standard deviation for Algeria is for interest rate, which is at 12.00422152, and the lowest standard deviation is for inflation at 7.0724856667. Next, we move on to correlation. This statistic measures they indicate the extent which two or more variables are together. Positive correlations is when the value of both variables that tend to increase together, while negative correlation is when the values of the one variable is tend to increase while the other one is tend to decrease. So as we look at the correlation table, trade or open has a moderate positive relationship to oil price at 0.518399471. The inflation has a very low negative relationship to oil price at negative 0.21174484, and inflation's relationship with trade or open is also very low negative at 0.2151643005. We move to interest rate. Interest rate relationship with oil price is at markedly low and negligible positive relationship with oil price, which is at 0.025904756, and its relationship to trade or open is at very low positive at 0.104964595. And lastly, interest rates relationship with inflation is at moderate positive at 0.547045691.
The last part is multiple regression. First, a model summary. The value for R square is 0.199. It means that approximately 19.9% of the exchange rate of Algerian dinar is explained by the oil price, trade or open, interest rate, and inflation. The value for adjusted R square is equal to 0.124. It shows that 14.2% of the variation exchange rate variability. The dependent variable is slightly explained by the independent variable. Next is coefficient. The value of this statistic is suggesting that the oil price and trade or open have a positive significant impact on the exchange rate, thus rejecting the null hypothesis and accepting the alternative hypothesis. While inflation and interest rate has significant effect on the exchange rate and the null hypothesis is accepted. The last one is ANOVA. The p-value for the f-test is equal to 0.013, which is less than the level of significance 0.05. Therefore, the null hypothesis is rejected. This means that the oil price, trade or open, inflation, and interest rate is statistically significant variable in explaining the variation in the exchange rate of Algerian dinar.
As the conclusion, based on theoretical literature and empirical findings, it shows that oil price, trade or opens, interest rates, and inflation have unstable relation with exchange rates in Algeria economies. But oil price and inflation are the major determinations of exchange rate in Algeria economy. To keep the foreign exchange rate stable, the macroeconomic environment must be conducted to maintain a relatively stable price level. That's all from us. Thank you.